80 years is a long time. What grows through my heart as I reflect on this incredible legacy is humility. When I think of the men and women who prayed, served, and sacrificed to partner with Jesus to build this church, I see the fingerprints of God on every generation.
Through every season, revival, rebuilding, and even hardship, God has proven himself faithful. Old River Assembly has always been a place where people could come and encounter Jesus, to be refreshed, to find healing, and discover purpose.
The main thing that they did for me was to introduce me to Jesus Christ.
I think I was taught faithfulness and stability through my parents and grandparents. Of course, my grandfather was the founding father of this church. Faithfulness in not only coming to church, but serving God, being faithful to Him. And I was taught that through my parents and grandparents, and just watching their lives and them leading and living their lives in front of me.
The other thing I want to add to that is that her parents and her grandparents had a lot of effect on me. Not only did my parents have effect, my grandparents, but her grandparents. And so every generation has to have a David. Every generation has to have a Paul. So you're looking to do what the Lord wants you to do in your generation. And my generation, I told someone the other day, the main difference between youth and elderly people is youth has the energy and elderly people have the experience.
That was one of the things that drew us to this church, was the fact that there was such a legacy here. The church that we came from in Bastrop also had the same legacy there, and so it just felt like coming home. So it was easy to fall in love with the people that have been so welcoming, and from the first time we walked in the doors, we were welcomed by not just the greeter at the door, but also the body in the church service. It was just so welcoming and warming and refreshing to see that in a church.
I agree, and we feel like the Lord led us here, and so because of that, I mean, we were not disappointed when we got here. I mean, the rich legacy and the people and the warmth of the people is continued, and allowed us to continue to draw nearer to the Lord. And so we came in here, and again, the legacy, we saw that right off the bat, and we were welcomed, and everybody took us in, and we've enjoyed our time here, and it's been a blessing for us, and we're grateful to be able to be a part of it, to grow with it, and also to serve.
Old River's been a blessing to me. From the beginning, when I first came, to the meeting of my sisters and my brothers, from starting with the pantry. God, that was such a great blessing, because I got to meet people. You know, I got to meet new persons that don't come to church, but yet I had the opportunity to pray for them when I saw them in need.
I was invited many years ago when I was in high school to the youth. Now, I wasn't so fancy about it. I only went because a few of my family members had came, and then I stopped coming. But then I would come again with my mom invited me to women's nights, you know, the lady gatherings, and later on attended. But what drew me back was the Lord.
Well, you know, to think about serving in Old River when it has such a long and wonderful legacy. I can think of great, truly legends in the faith that I have served with and worked under, and also those that I've heard stories about. Gary and I came here in 1988, and it already had a very rich history. And so it's almost like, you know, you're surrounded by this great cloud of witnesses. And some have gone and some of them are still here. And so what a heritage we inherited. I mean, just pulled in this parking lot one day and started coming to church here, and our lives were changed by God, of course, but also by the richness of the people who we worked under, learned from, just watched their example, heard their stories. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the examples and leadership that people have shown me over the years, how to be a board member, what to expect, and I learned a lot from them, and that's something you just can't take away. It's sad to see some of them, they've gone on to be with the Lord, but I've learned a lot from them, and I continue in the future learning from others and to pass it on to the younger generation.
My excitement for the growth or future of the church is that while the church is approaching its 80th year, it seems that we are still just a bud. We have a lot of elders here, but not much youth. How beautiful is it going to be when those elders are able to pour out on the dozens of youth that's going to be here one day? Truly, we have a ton of nutrients just waiting to be spread across the youth that's going to be here and that's going to come. My excitement for that is how God's going to move and work amongst all that nutrition that's being stockpiled right now.
Our vision for the church is being saved, equipped, empowered, released, and sent. And I think that it really helps me focus on what Jesus has called us to do. When you and other people first take that step to being saved, to accepting the Lord into your heart. And then as a church, we're equipping each other through discipleship. And with that comes empowerment. And then we're released, which I think is kind of different from a lot of other churches that I've been to in the past. And so I think empowerment and released go hand in hand because we're empowered. And then with that empowerment, we're released to go do what God has called us to do. And then what I think is really unique about this church is some of us are going to be sent away to go embark on missions, maybe to go to another church that's 10 miles away, or maybe to go far away, like a lot of the missionaries that we support, or a few of the missionaries that we support, they grew up in this area or in this church. So I think that's a really unique value that the Lord has given our pastor, who has then given us as a church, is to be sent out and go make disciples.
80 years. That's it's remarkable. We've gone through a lot of stuff in 80 years. There's a lot of rich history in 80 years. There's been a lot of ups and downs in 80 years, but God is still faithful in 80 years. He's still faithful for the next 80 years. And so I'm thankful to be a part of it. I'm closing in on 29 years here, and it's been great. It's been wonderful. And I have no regrets. I love my church.
One of the ways I've been impacted with our church family being the way that it is that people genuinely care about one another. I love that I don't have to, as a leader in the church, coordinate effort of let's take care of this person pastorally, let's take care of this person pastorally. Our church actually, not that other churches don't, but our church goes and checks on so-and-so because they know about the need. They go and bring food to so-and-so because they knew that they needed a hot meal tonight. And the staff of the church aren't having to coordinate everything. And that's just a blessing to Pastor Eddie and I to know that yes, we do lead, and yes, we do want to pastorally take care of people, but it's on all of us. We are the church, the people are the church. And I love how our church family is being the church, the hands and feet of Jesus to the people in need.
Yeah, it goes beyond staff having to be the church. It's the church being the church. Absolutely. And doing what the church is supposed to do. Yes. As everyone has need, the church responds accordingly. Well, the excitement that I have for the future of Oak River Assembly of God, Again, looking back with all humility on what God has done over the last 80 years, I'm so excited because it's for so many ways, and especially for us, since we've only been here for a short period of time, is God is just getting started. No disparagement to what's happened in the past. It's been great, and it got us to this place. But God's not done. God's not done with the people that are here, and God is equipping and preparing us now for the people He's going to send for the future. So I'm excited. I'm beyond excited because there's an energy that I sense even within the congregation. This has been a great 80 years, but man, we're so looking forward to what God is going to do. And that gets me even more excited because as I anticipate what God is going to speak to me, speak through me, and speak through this congregation, I know that we are going to see more people get saved. We're going to see more people be equipped and empowered. And then the joy that I have is to see them walk in their purpose, to be released and to be sent out to accomplish exactly what God would have them to accomplish for their ministry in the kingdom of God.
Good, that's gracious.
Woo! Lights, camera, action.
Well, for myself, I feel like as leading, even those with the children, we can't keep a straight face.
Am I funny, Angela? I'm Barbara Walters over here.
Yes, the whole thing. At least for our part. Anyways, okay. Sorry, Lord. From my perspective, well, I don't know. I guess my mommy's jobbing.
I didn't expect that.
Pues no puedo. Estás risi, no puedo decir nada. Okay, so.
Okay, I've got to stop.
Okay.
Oh Lord. I'm just excited.